Chapter. I'm your host, Boe Blast, with my homegirl,
Cinnamon.
and you're now listening to
Temp Check.
Okay.
Hey.
Here we are. People's like, "Bo, you gonna clap every time?" Yes, I'm gonna clap every episode because we made it. Matter of fact, we're gonna do our handshake every episode.
I know.
You know what it is. Yeah.
You know, gotta pay tribute.
We got to, man. This is a dope show. We got a guest back.
Yeah.
We got somebody here with us
today. Yes, we was off the rip last week.
Yeah.
We got a guest this week. Yeah.
So with that being said, we got to check in with each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but every week we like to check each other's temperature and see how that go. We'll definitely get to you, but what's up with you? Today, last time I think I started it off. How's your temperature? What's your temperature like?
My temperature's cool. My temperature's good. Getting, I'm excited about what we're doing. Got good feedback from people in the community, and so yeah, I'm excited. Had some. Had a brain block. No,
I was about to say, did you have something you didn't? You can't start the conversation and not end with it. Be brave enough to talk about it, whatever it was.
No, I just a little brain fog. I wasn't feeling so well this weekend, so no. Okay. But I'm recovering good and feeling great, and had a little someone called themselves helping me out with some good advice on not really being myself, but just so everybody knows. You get what the fuck you get. This is who I am, and we're gonna have fun. Unapologetically me.
You.
How are you, Bo?
Man,
How are you? How's your weekend and stuff?
I'm feeling real good. Feeling real fly. My weekend was extravagant. Mm-hmm. It was full of pleasure, and fun. Yeah.
Were we honoring the month, or were you just
I wasn't
okay?
Honoring the month.
Good.
I was just, I was honored.
Good.
That's what I was.
Good.
So I'm feeling good. I'm still riding high off my weekend. It was dope.
Yeah, some good shows.
So the Slink Johnson show was dope on Thursday. That's what really sparked it. We sold that joint out at
I Spy.
Jackson's. What you spy?
I Spy.
What you spy?
You were talking about your little your person, your possible person.
Hold on. Look, let's introduce who she is.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Let the people
know who she is,
and then we'll get to you later.
We can get the temp check on her. So let's get the intro on her, and then we'll get her temp check, and then we'll jump into what we got going on.
Nice. So yes, we have a special guest for you today, Miss Renee. Excited about her, R&B singer from the Seattle area, born and raised in the Seattle area. This is her second single that's coming out right now called Humble Brag. Is super excited. Your first single hit number 1 on the urban charts.
Hit number 1 on the urban charts.
Yeah.
So the urban influencer, yes. Urban influencer, college radio.
Yes, that's radio. Awesome. Okay. So we're excited to have her here today. How are you doing, Miss Renee? What's your temperature?
My temperature's good. I'm good. I'm pretty cool too. Actually, I'm chill. I'm in the middle of this week trying to get through it, like I'm sure everybody else is. I as well had a crazy busy weekend. My daughter just celebrated her 9th birthday, so I was just being in mommy mode all weekend. So, but I'm good though. I'm good. It's Wednesday, midweek.
That's dope. We're happy to have you here. We're going to get into what that mommy life is too a little bit later. I want to know what them experiences sound like and look like. But for right now, we got to get into what it's looking like in the world. What's going on out here?
Man, so one thing that I'm really excited about, which is a huge growth for, it's really a million steps forward for women in sports. You know, a couple shows ago, we were talking about the unequal pay and all that, and the sucky, the sucky
that's what
men's
the WNBA,
soccer team.
The women's soccer team was already getting their guap. They was getting their fetty. They was getting their cheese.
No, not really. Not like they should. Not the women's soccer team, but you know, there were some. More. No, well, now they're going to have equals. So the U.S. Soccer Federation has come to an agreement with both sides, and they're actually going to have the exact same contract.
Okay, see.
And $22 million in back pay for the women team. $22 million in back pay for the women team. But here's the thing, though. And they're going to do this until 2028. So maybe they're just trying it out, or this is the contract. But look, here's the thing, though. In order for the women, who are by far superior, in my opinion, to get that equal pay, they agreed to split. So they're going to split the World Cup money. So when you win the World Cup, you get a pot of money. That should go to the winner, right? Well, now they're going to split it because the sore losers, the ones that couldn't get a win, not one single World Cup win, the men's soccer team, now the women, every time they win, they have to split it with them. That's crazy.
I'm on your side.
The women have won 4 World Cup championships of the 8 that have played out. So 4 of them have been taken by our U.S. women's soccer team, and they currently hold the current title. The men, none, but they want some of the money.
That's janky, but
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how you know men are running shit too, like, because that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And I agree with you 10 times over on that.
But we are happy that they're going to have an equal contract, which is, hopefully
that's what you wanted.
The other teams can let, like basketball, like they can get on it. Speaking of Free Britney, I'm going to say that every time until she comes home, and I'm not talking Britney Spears, but we need a whole Free Britney campaign. But anyway,
so it's going to work out in that way, man. For Britney to come home the way we want.
They're trying to have an exchange with one of their Russian criminals that we have behind bars here. They offered a
fair exchange, no robbery then.
But who's to say Slow Joe's going to do it?
Facts.
Yeah.
We know how to.
It's too bad, but we knew they were going to politicize her. I mean, we knew they were going to politicize her, but that's why it's dangerous for her to be there. And we need to protect our women more and our Black women more. And it's not being talked about enough. And that's why I had to bring it up.
All right. Well, I'm with you 10 times over.
She needs to come home
because I'm a part of the fair but not equal side of things. But on this side, I believe that it wasn't fair for the women. You know what I'm saying? And it's still not. So I'm on your side when it comes to this right here, usually. But on the basketball side of things, I still believe that they getting what they deserve as far as basketball. But what
they are getting what they deserve?
Yes, they are.
You don't think they're worth more than that?
No, not right now.
Because of revenue bringing in, maybe?
Yeah, that's why. But not to be biased or anything.
Yeah.
But on this side of things for the soccer, like that's totally whack. You know
yeah.
Matter of fact, the men's soccer team is so whack. I believe that we just need to all the way disqualify them from anything and let the women play on both the women's side and the men's side. That's what I believe in. We'll probably have a better chance to win.
Soccer really can be both genders. Yeah. Because why not? It's not something that's necessarily physical, as far as like a contact sport in that way. But I could definitely see that as something that I don't think it would hurt anything.
How you feel about it?
To mix it up.
I feel like in this case we don't need to mix it because the girls is doing what they got to do.
Why bring them losers in, right?
Anytime somebody turn on their seat, anytime somebody sit up on the team and turn on their seat sideways and then get to talking, you come with that you came with in this
that sass for that ass.
You don't even need them. Like, ugh. You sound like you indulge in this month's activities, by the way you said that. Like, we don't need anybody else. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Like, that's, I don't know.
Are we going there?
No, I was just saying the way she came out hammering like that. I mean, I was on the women's side until she started doing this.
Because she's got an opinion. It's got to be that time. But no, I feel you. Why let them losers on the team?
Oh, my God. Incredible people. Man, let's move on to this next topic so we get off of this stuff that y'all on, this rhetoric.
Nothing. No, but also, something else that was in the news, of course, everybody, I'm sure you have, unfortunately seen this story, is the 10 people that were killed by an 18-year-old in Buffalo. This kid, crazy,
18-year-old. So
he was 18 years old.
This tells me? You know what this tells me? This was definitely taught. This had to come from inside the household where he had a great-grandfather, a grandfather, or a dad,
the family
or
dynamic,
uncle, or somebody that's teaching him their lineage of destruction. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, he was paying homage the same way Kobe was to the basketball gods before him. This fool had all the names taped on his rifle or whatever that he was using to do this destruction. This is horrible. This is deep. And you want to know what? My bad for being so super long-winded.
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy the way that they treated him in comparison to the way one of us would have been treated had we went into an all Caucasian establishment and did that. Ain't no way I would have walked out.
He got
looking
arrested.
Yeah, that's
He got arrested. He was alive, unscathed, no black eyes,
Dave
no busted
Chappelle
lips.
attacker did worse than this dude did.
He did. His arm was like all the way backward. Contorted.
Contorted. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is unbelievable,
But
man.
yeah,
This racism.
Payton Gendron.
That's his
18
name?
years old. Payton Gendron. Yeah, 18 years old. He went to several stores looking at the guns and
Payton who?
bought one. Payton Gendron.
What prison he going to? Cause I got a couple homies. If this is federal, we're gonna call in the jug.
And but the worst part, he planned it out, drove 200 miles to be able to do it. So, it's just insane. They took him very, very easily. And then there was a comment made in one of the news sources about him. It looks like, anyways, he was like pat on the back by one of the officers as they were heading over to the car. So, it's just, and then of course they were starting in with is there a possible mental health issue? That's always already trying to start with the escape, but it was very quickly rebutted by a guest on the show that was
they gave
saying,
the boy some Burger King on the way to being locked up.
not that,
true?
not that one, but a different one.
It happened before. Something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
He had a couple years ago, another young man had shot at one of the churches, and they, when they arrested him, they took him to get Burger King before going to the jail. So it just it's just show of further distress and how differently people in this country are treated, and especially our justice system and how it handles individuals and victims.
You got an opinion on police brutality or anything within this situation with this young man that went in there and he drove purposely 200 miles to this grocery store to where they know we were shopping at and took a lot of our people out? Do you got anything you would like to say about that? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's just a crazy story overall, or crazy thing that happened. God bless those families, number one, because that
Definitely.
is insane. It just shows we have a long way to go. We still have so long to go to make sure our people are taken care of and protected. I think we're still missing so much. We're not equal, and who knows if we will be, but we still have a long way to go. And I pray that at the end of the day, that person gets whatever time they're supposed to have. I hope that people don't stop talking about it, because sometimes that happens. These things go on and then we stop talking about it to the next thing, so I just pray that we continue talking about this to make sure that, this stops. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And I don't watch the video, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, on a
lighter note,
yes.
So somebody that they were saying had mental issues, kind of have lost his way in years past. He was fighting kids in the projects, other places. He was getting locked up in the Target downtown Seattle.
Mr. Mini Pimp.
Hands down, was it Cat Williams? What was he saying on Friday? Pimp down, Cat Williams, y'all. Yeah, man, he came out with a solid comedy special.
I saw that.
I felt like he did fall off for a while, but he's somebody that always finds his way back to relevancy.
Yeah.
Like, he always finds his way back to the top. And it's amazing that he's able to do that. Like, I'm a fan of him.
What did you think about it? I watched it. I want to get your opinion first.
So
what did you think about it?
I felt like he was patiently funny. That's what I felt like.
Patiently funny.
Yeah. Like, I felt like he was at his pace and he was at such a calm and a peace, but still had a certain amount of energy and charisma about him that it came out in something that I wouldn't mind indulging and watching again. He had a lot of subliminal messages in there, because if you notice, the name of this special was The Lie versus the Truth, basically.
Yeah.
And he had some things that were tied in that I kind of agree with, but I want to come back and watch it again. His perspective is super funny. I liked it. I didn't get to finish watching it, but I like what I see.
But why not? You fell asleep?
Nah, I had somewhere to go, Kat. I had somewhere to go, Kat. I had to leave. What'd you feel about it?
I didn't think it was as laugh out loud funny as most of his stuff that I do like. I am a Cat fan.
But you're happy to see him back, though.
Very happy to see him back. But it seems like, as he gets older, he's more comfortable.
Right.
Like his hair used to be laid. He's just like, I'm gonna throw on some star pants and a baseball cap.
I hate
like,
I do hate his
all
outfits.
about comfort now.
I hate his Forever
But
21 Kid Section outfits.
I'm about comfort. Kid
his
section.
H&M 4th of July combination. I hate his ensembles.
We'll be right back with more hot topics and spicy conversations on Temp Check. Only here on Fever Radio.
You know what I'm interested in?
Yeah.
I'm interested in you.
Okay.
Come on, people, stop playing, man. I was just saying I'm interested in her music and seeing how her career started. So I think that will probably be the first question. Like, how'd you get started, man? And tell the people.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Thank you for having me. How did I get started? So music has been my life for my whole life. When I was a little kid, I was always singing and dancing, doing talent shows, singing in the living room, dancing in the living room. I just have always loved music. And I was on a dance team, and that's kind of where I mostly went throughout my years. But I love music and I've never strayed away from it. So I started writing. Probably back in 2019, right before COVID, I made a decision to make it serious and be professional. And I started writing real music and going to the studio and recording, and just decided this is what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes we get away from like our purpose, and I realized that I got away from my purpose, and I came back to it, and I'm here.
Yeah.
So were you one of those people that found the pandemic, being in that isolation, that kind of help you get back to yourself, or was it your way of like just having something to do, or was it because you were isolated that you just began to focus on yourself and really even have the time to be able to throw yourself into the art?
It was before that. Actually, right before the pandemic started, I was already getting back to myself. I think that the pandemic gave me the space and the time because I was working from home a lot. So I was able to like actually focus and not be distracted by the everyday life. So I don't think that it made it happen. I think it just helped, actually. It gave me the space too. So I guess it was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So who told you and gave you the confidence that you can do this? Like, okay, you can sing a little bit. Oh, I can? Like, I'm better than a shower singer? Like, who gave you the confidence to get on stage and share your vocals with the world?
Well, really, my mom, when I was a kid, my mom always wanted me to be a singer and a performer. She thought I was going to be famous like a long time ago. But really, I kind of lost that confidence for a long time. And so prayer, God, like kind of gave it back to me. I wouldn't say that there was any particular person that gave it to me other than my mom when I was a kid, and God giving it back to me as an adult.
One more question real quick. Are you a man basher? Like,
No.
Within your songs, what helps you write? Like, where do your motivations come from when it's time for you to write a hit? And how do you know, like, this is something that I want to share with the people?
Okay, so I'm not a man basher by any means. I actually support my Black men especially. So definitely not a basher. I think my inspiration comes from my experiences and me just a lot of it is building myself back up and giving myself the courage and pushing myself. So that's where a lot of my lyrics come from, even with my newest single, Humble Brag. If that's talking to myself, I'm talking to myself like, you can be great, you can do these things. Don't let nothing stop you, kind of a thing. So no, not a basher. I would never do that. That's not me.
Okay. That's what's up. So Humble Brag is like a song of affirmation for yourself, giving you the courage and the strength that you need to move on.
Yes. And encouraging people to be okay with what they look like, what they feel like inside and outside, and not like looking back and like giving yourself, like discouraging yourself in any way, and being okay with saying like, oh, I did good, like being okay, but not in a like cocky way, right? It's like, it's okay to be humble, but it's okay to say that you're doing great at the same time. Finding that balance.
I loved that. And it was a couple days after reading your post, actually, that I had listened to your song, and I was like, that's exactly, you didn't know it, but you was feeling her.
Oh yeah.
So your post when you were actually, trying to like come to grips with being able to acknowledge what you've done
Yeah.
and taking little out of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Like that's what I felt. And I was like, oh, that's it right there. Being able to recognize yourself without being haughty.
Yeah.
So you're humble, but giving
So-
yourself that encouragement when you see those accomplishments.
My
That
question,
reminded me of you.
and so let's segue into this next question that I kind of got for you. So, me, I'm in the comedy world. We could both come from the Pacific Northwest. I'm a Tacoma guy. It said that you're a Seattle woman. We've had professional athletes come from our area, but not too much within the R&B musical field or the comedy field. What are some struggles that you might have came across, and has it detoured you from trying to become big time, or does it motivate you to move away and do your thing and on a bigger platform?
That's a good question. I think the struggle is a little bit of access and kind of not knowing exactly who is doing what, who's out there. I think making myself a little bit more available and out there, mingling, being a little bit more social has helped. But I wouldn't say I'm quite at a place where I feel like I need to move away. I do think that the music scene here in Seattle is popular. And because there's not a lot of R&B singers or artists in general, I think it leaves a lane for me. And so I'm just going to go ahead and ride in that lane. I know there's a lot, you know what I'm saying? there's a lot of artists.
Seeing your little boom,
I'm just
chicka
saying,
boom, come
right in
out.
that
I said,
lane.
boom, chicka boom.
There's space for it, so I'm going to go ahead and take up that space.
Yeah, that's dope. So you said there's space for it, but there's also space for you to take care of other things like your kids. I heard earlier you were a mommy.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part though, juggling being with my family, and I work full time too. I'm not just doing music all the time and then doing music. So I try to balance out my life. It's a little bit tough. So
You
like
single
if I'm
too?
doing like my birthday parties over the weekend, I can't do music. It is what it is, but family first.
If there's somebody out there trying to holler at you when they see you, can they holler? Are you single?
They can't. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
fellas, y'all
I'm
heard,
very
you
married.
heard that word. She's taken.
She's happily married.
Yeah,
To
Very
her
happy.
king.
that's dope.
Yes.
That's dope. Shout out to him and y'all have with y'all beautiful love and y'all beautiful family that I'm sure y'all got, man, at home.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this
Absolutely.
single though, and what's coming up for you. So, who did you work with? A local producer?
I did. So I work with two local producers, Kevin Gardner and Funk Daddy, on this song, Humble Brag. It's such a dope song. You guys gotta listen to it if you have not. Yeah, it's out now. I released it back in April. It's making its way through the DJs and clubs and radio right now. So the performances are next. That's the next goal. That's what I'm hitting up right now.
Yeah.
So tell us about your performances that are coming up. So you're gonna be on stage with Faith Evans?
What?
Yeah.
Life Jennings
Yeah,
too?
like how
Talk
is it?
about
That's
Yeah.
not easy for a new R&B artist. So tell us about what's coming up for you.
Yes. So May 28th, it's a private party in Lakewood. It's someone's 50th, Jay's 50th birthday party. So Faith will be performing there. I will also be on stage with her. I'll be performing a couple of my songs, including Humble Brag. So that's May 28th. And then also July 17th, I will be sharing the stage with Life Jennings at the Neo Soul Fest in Puyallup. And it's gonna be live. It's gonna be outside.
Oh, you name dropping.
Yeah.
Dropping.
No, you know what I'm saying it out loud more so for myself because I'm still kind of in shock about it. So
Yeah.
it's not a name drop. It's more of like, okay, a humble brag. Like I got to give myself, a little something.
Right. You're doing it. It's not easy. And especially in these times where a lot of people are doing things on their own, you find a lot of like rappers and things kind of self-producing and being independent. You don't find a lot of R&B artists doing it, but you're doing it. You're making your way, putting in the work. And I enjoy the song, actually. So, yeah, I think it's pretty dope.
Well, I want to ask you one more question about yourself before we move on to a couple other topics within our podcast. And the one thing I want to ask you is, who are your dream collabs, though? Who are your dream collabs, and who are your top 3 vocalists all time?
Okay, so dream collabs.
Rapper, singer, it don't matter.
Well, number 1, Chris Brown. So if he's listening, go ahead and make that happen. I actually really like the artist Blast. He's pretty dope to me right
Fire.
now. I would love to work with him. And rappers, probably Drake. Probably Drake. I actually like his music. He gives a little R&B sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
All-time vocalist. Ooh. Mariah Carey, Whitney, and Beyonce.
What was that last one?
Beyonce.
Oh yeah,
That was some strong voices. Sisters.
all three of them.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
And B's the whole package.
The whole package.
Absolutely.
My imaginary wife.
Oh my goodness. Nobody want to hear
Love
none
me.
of that, man.
I want to hear it.
humble
But
brags, affirmations.
She's awesome, but she's powerful. Those are definitely good models. Good models to want to mimic.
Yeah, this is dope, man. I'm happy that we got a chance to meet you and interview you and see somebody from the Pacific Northwest that's about to put it down on the music scene. And I look forward to hearing more from you and seeing you blow up. Where could the people follow you at? Like, how do we stay in touch?
Yes, I do have an Instagram. My Instagram is at @SheIsRonay. I do also have a YouTube, which is at @SheIsRonay. And my website is sheisronay.com.
Okay, and where can they find the music?
Oh, on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, everywhere. My music is on all platforms.
We'll be right back with more hot topics and spicy conversations on Temp Check. Only here on Fever Radio.
We're gonna hop into something because I want to know. You kind of you blew me off earlier. I want to. I saw the little picture.
This is big. Oh my God.
We're gonna fit him on this. So we had a discussion last week.
What are we talking about here, man?
We had a discussion last week.
Woo.
About new people, about exes. When do you introduce? And the photographer done busted Boe out.
What happened? Paparazzi?
You got your first little tabloid thing.
Wow.
So if you were at Nate's Club last week,
Nate's?
it's out. No, I think it was Nate's.
No, I wasn't. No,
Was it at
was
Nate's?
What's going on?
I don't
here?
know. Wherever you was, I saw the picture.
What you see, man?
The person. Okay, so spill the beans. Who else saw it? That's what I want to know.
Saw what, man?
The picture.
What are we talking
What's
about?
her name?
Her name's Ronay.
No,
she got a hot new album
why
coming
you
out.
playing? Why you playing?
She's fire. Everybody make sure that you guys tap in and tune in to what she got going on because
So can we elaborate on the story? I want to know who else saw it.
What's going on?
What's going on?
What?
You're not ready? Okay.
What are we talking about?
You know what we're talking about, but okay, the tabloid bust him out, but he ain't ready. He ain't ready to talk. We're going to skip over it.
So what's the topic here? I feel like I forgot.
Boe's Bay.
Oh, man. Hey, babe. They say the names have been changed to protect the innocent. It's I'm happy. That's
good,
that's
and that's what
I'm gonna tell you.
counts.
I'm super happy. I'm in a dope place right now.
Yeah.
The energy is definitely electric. Is what I would say.
That's nice
for myself right now.
Did you get to have the conversation before the picture, before the tabloid leak?
Nah, and
you didn't.
No, I'm slow rolling the red carpet. Whatever's out there, I'll deal with that accordingly. But hey, one thing I don't want to do is pass up on a great opportunity. So for me to do what I got to do for me and my happiness, I feel like that's what's owed to myself and to everybody else that's involved.
And it'll work out, and that's good. Always be true to yourself.
Having real conversations with people, though, I don't want to say too much of who told me, but just my mind is running right now, and I'm in a sentimental place. This podcast that we have is definitely authentic. As you can see, it's real. We like to speak our mind and say how we feel and be as transparent as possible. But I also clown a lot. I come from a comedic view on a lot of things. And last week I said something that wasn't super sensitive to a certain group of people, and I would like to say for anybody out there that was sexually assaulted or had anything that was done to them in a displeasure without consent, I apologize. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to anybody or insensitive to your situation at hand, but that's me letting you know I apologize, and that's not who I am. I don't believe in that. I don't consent in that, and love y'all. Any support you need from me, you got it.
Yeah, we know, Boe. And, I kind of caught it last week, but I didn't take offense because I know where your heart is. I know you are a comedian, and we rolled with it, but that was sincere. I'm sure people are okay.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, of course. Family.
Yeah, so with that being said, man, I feel like this was a dope show, man. What's our other hot topics though? Like you brought a date to the Nate Jackson talking about me. Like, what you talking about?
That
This is
wasn't
crazy.
a date. That wasn't a date. That was my sister.
Don't try to put me up. Bro. We need to fix this hot button so I can get like you had something going on.
I didn't. No, that was my sister. I just getting her out. We lost our third in February. So, when I'm doing something, we're living our life. If I'm doing something, she's got to be part of it. If she's doing something, I got to be part of it. We just, are just living our life and trying to be happy and loving and being in the moment and not letting anything pass. And so, no, just, but... how we talked about the person that I was kind of interested in, but couldn't really get into it because of that ex and stuff. She was there.
Oh,
she was there.
What was that encounter like? So we saved that conversation for a later day.
What's interesting, like if it were now, I might, so it's like, one of those where you see each other and you're like, and I kind of had, I kind of, like blew her off kind of before, but we really vibed. She was a good person and we had fun for that, a little bit of time, but I just couldn't get away. So it was kind of awkward, but when you see each other and you're like, you don't know if you should speak or not, but she's looking good, sweet as ever. And then later on, I get a little text. It was good seeing you. And you're like,
some type of way.
I don't know. Shut up.
How long have you been in a relationship for? How long you and your husband been with each other?
You trying to make me tell my age?
All their life.
our whole life.
Dang.
Our whole life, pretty much.
Okay, so that's dope. So, what's a relationship like? I'm saying, like, how do you doing it? Like, what's the secret to y'all success?
Oh, prayer. Number one. I pray
You said
a lot.
prayer?
Is it that bad to where you got to pray every night? Like, oh my God, I can't stay another night with this. like, please please give me the strength. Because every time he cook, I don't like it.
Or it's that good and you don't want to lose it. So
okay. Well, check me. Hey, you know what? My bad, because I don't want to seem like a hater on my partner that I don't know. Okay, well, keep putting it down then, homie. It's the latter then. I'm so she don't want to leave me. She's praying to keep me. Say that then.
Yeah, it's nice to have that after so long.
Yeah.
Some people lose it, so that's awesome. And he's supportive of what you're doing. And
he is very supportive. He's very happy for me. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, y'all. That was it, man. Another dope
another
episode.
Day, another dope.
We made it to episode number 4.
Number 4. Can you believe it? That's like a whole month.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's like a whole month. This has been an exciting first 30-day journey, and I can't wait to see what else you do, but I can't wait to see what else we do too. Like, this is going to be exciting. So, Humble Brag out everywhere right now on all the platforms.
Let everybody know where to find you one more time. And if you can give a shout out, to anybody, my bad. And if you can give a shout out to anybody, let us know that too.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna shout out you guys. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Like, for real. Like, this is a part of my journey. You guys are a part of it, so I'm super grateful. You can find me on Instagram at SheIsRonay, YouTube at SheIsRonay, website at SheIsRonay.com.
Who you want to shout out?
Who do I want to shout out?
Yeah, shout somebody out. We doing a shout out. Shout them out. I want to shout out my sons, man.
Yeah.
DeAndre, Dominique, and Jimbo, and my niece Michaela. I want to shout out all of them. And my, you know what? My other kids from the other relationship too. Let me shout them out too. Deaka, Shayla, Brittany, Isaiah.
The whole fam.
Yeah, let me shout out every. You know what? Let me shout out my mama too. I'm gonna shout out my mama. You know what? Let me shout. Hey, y'all, it's your boy Boe Blast, man. _ Boe Blast on IG.
Man, I want to shout out all the real friends in the chosen family. Like, this has been a interesting journey for everybody, but I see so many people coming out, laughing, smiling, loving on each other, and this is just part of that, an extension of that process. So, I'm just thankful for all of us having a good time living.
Yeah. That's dope. With that being said, you have now listened to Temp Check. I hope to see y'all again next week.
Thanks for tuning into Temp Check with your hosts, Boe Blast and Cinnamon. Listen in next time for more of the hottest topics and spiciest conversations, only on Fever Radio.